Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today, we're going to learn about record sets. We're going to learn about what they are, how to use them. I'll show you a few simple examples. We'll learn how to create a record set, display a record, loop through a bunch of records, and display the information. And then, I'll teach you how to do something cool, how to send emails individually to a bunch of people in your database based on whatever criteria you want. We can do all of that by looping through records with a record set in our VBA code. Now, of course, this is a more advanced developer lesson for developers, right? So if you're new to VBA and you haven't done any VBA programming before, go watch this video. Here's the link down here where you can scan this little QR code. Go watch this. It's about 20 minutes long. It'll teach you everything you need to know to get started. Go watch this, then come on back. To use record sets, you're going to have to know SQL. There's no way around it. The SQL language, right? At least how to form a good select statement. So go watch this video too. I mean, you can just use a table or a query for a record set, but the real power is when you learn how to write SQL statements. And make sure you know how to use a while loop. While loop is my personal preference. There's other kinds of loops too. You can use any one you want, but I like the while loop. So go watch this video too. These are all free videos. They're on my website. They're on my YouTube channel. Go watch them and come on back. All right, so what is a record set? Well, a record set's an object that is used to represent a set of records, record set, right? Set of records retrieved from your database. You can think of it like a virtual table that's in memory, right? It holds whatever data you put in it. You could say, give me all the customers from Florida, and it'll save it in memory as a record set. Record sets then allow you to interact with the data programmatically. You can read, add, update, delete records. You can move through them one at a time. You can move forward. You can move backwards. You can do all kinds of stuff. It's a very useful tool when dealing with complex data processing that cannot be handled through standard SQL queries. If a basic query can't do it, then you can use a record set. And usually record sets are powerful because you can do stuff in the loop, right? Like a basic query can't send an email or save a PDF file. But you can do all that stuff in a record set loop. Here's an example. We're going to build this a little bit later. We're going to set up a record set. Here's the SQL, right? Give me all the customers from Florida that have an email address. Here's the record set declaration, right? We're going to loop through all the records, and then we're going to send an email inside that loop to each of those people, right? You can't do that with a basic query, so that's what we're going to do today. All right, but let's start simple. Here I am in my Tech Help free template. This is a free database. You can download a copy off my website if you want to. Let's go in and hijack this button. Let's go to Design View. I'm going to make this guy a little bit bigger because we're going to use the status box here for my results. Status box is just a text box, and I wrote a function called status. If you haven't watched the blank template database where I build this, I'll put a link down below. I'll show you how to use the status box. Anyways, in here, build event. Instead of hello world, let's delete that. We're going to set up a record set, dim rs, as a record set. It's a built-in access object. There it is. Again, think of it like a virtual table or a virtual query. It exists in the computer's memory. Now we got to set up our record set. We do it like this. Set rs equals current db, that says the current database you got open, dot open record set. There it is, right? And then in parentheses, you can put either the name of a table or a query or an SQL statement. So I could put in here customer T, for example, and I'll get a record set that is pointing to the records in the customer table. Now, since record set is an object, anything you ever have to use the word set for is an object. And whenever you see that, you want to make sure you delete it when you're done. You want to destroy it, basically. Clear up that memory. Set rs equals nothing before you exit that subroutine. Do you absolutely have to do that? No, Access should clean up after itself, but I know from experience that it doesn't. And if you got a lot of stuff going on in here with lots of record sets, doing this, doing that, the more complex it is, obviously, the worse it gets. But Access isn't perfect at cleaning up after itself. So just whenever you set up one, make sure you set it to nothing at the end. Okay. Now, what goes in the middle here? Well, now we have a record set open, and it's pointing to customer T. So let's take a look at what we got. Let's take a look at one of the records that we have. So let's say status. That's my status function to just put stuff in the status box. And I'll say the customer's first name is, right, colon. And here's how you reference the fields in the record set. It's RS, the name of your record set, bang, the exclamation point, and then whatever your field is. So first name, just like that. Okay? And then we're going to say RS close. Close the record set. You open it, you close it, then you destroy it. All right? And that, in a nutshell, is a very simple record set. Let's see what it got. All right? Let's save it. Always throw in a debug compile. Let's go back over. Yeah. Close this. Let's open it back up again. Yeah, I got code that moves it. All right. Okay. Ready? Click. Boom. And there you go. There's the first person in that table. If you open it up, right? First name Richard. That's the first record. I didn't specify any order, right? I didn't specify any conditions. Just open up the table. Now, you might want to open up a specific record from that table, and that's where your SQL comes in handy. You got no SQL to work with record sets. Realistically, you don't have to, but realistically you do. So in here, for example, I like to put something like select star or whatever fields you want from customer T, right? And then you can specify which one you want. So where customer ID equals, and give it a number like 1. Now save it. And now I'm getting Richard again, but I'm getting a specific record. See, come in here. Okay, let's say I want Deanna and Troy. Let's give it a 3. So put this and make it 3. Right? Save it. Come back over here. And there's Deanna. Okay. Now, what if you want to loop through all of the records in the customer table? Well, that's where your while loop comes into play. So come over here and let's put this. So we open it up and we're going to put a while loop right in here. Right? We're going to put that guy inside of a while loop. So right here, we're going to say while not rs.eof. EOF stands for end of file. It's kind of a throwback to text files. Whenever you're reading the lines out of a text file, you start with the beginning and you read until the end of file. That's where EOF comes in, even though it's not really a file. It's a record set. But you get the point, right? Us programmers love to reuse code, so it's EOF. And then whenever you open up a loop, you got to close the loop. Put your while end down there in the bottom, right? Save it. Are we done yet with our loop? Are we done? Take a look at it. Go rewatch the while loop video if you have to. What's missing? If I run this right now, what's going to happen? Anybody? Yeah, you guessed it. I got an endless loop going on here, don't I? Because it's going to start here. It's going to open up the record set. It's going to keep statusing that first name over and over again on that first record. It's never going to go anywhere. Remember, in a while loop, we have to increment our counter. And since we're not using a counter like an X variable, we have to say in here, move to the next record. And we do that with an rs.moveNext. All right, don't forget that. Very important. In fact, oftentimes when I'm writing a record set, I put the shell in there first. I put the while loop, the move next, the when, the close, and I write all that. Then I write the stuff inside the shell. I write the nut later, right? All right, let's give it a debug compile. Everything's good. Let's run it. Burp. Oh, hang on. What did I do? I just got Deanna again. Well, I forgot to change this. Let's get rid of the where customer ID equals 3. Let's just get rid of that. So we're getting all the customers. And again, you could put just customer T back in there or a query name. That's up to you. Run it, and there's everybody. And if you want to throw the customer ID on there, you can do that too. Right? You could put in here, RS customer ID and a space, right? And now you'll see the ID in there as well. There they go. See? That's pretty cool. What if you want to see just the people from Florida? Well, come over here. Where state equals. Now, you can't just put Florida like that because that's a text value. And we don't want to use single quotes in here. Get out of the habit of using single quotes. I know SQL Server requires single quotes. I know a lot of people find them easier because, those double quotes, you're supposed to do double quotes in here is what you want. And I got a whole separate video on why you should use double quotes instead of single quotes. Because if you've got a name like this, that single quote will break it. And that's why a lot of airline reservation systems, they don't let you put in single quotes. We run through this all the time when we try to book flights. So what you want is that, right? This turns into a quote, a double quote. This turns into a double quote inside your string. Trust me. All right. Save it. Run it. Boom. And there's just your people from Florida right there. I think it's Mr. Spock and Mr. somebody else from Florida. Let's see. Where are my Floridians in here? Where are you? Right click, filter. Let's see. Oh yeah, Mr. Wharf, Mr. Data. That's why I got two misters. Okay. Are you with me so far? You see how this is cool? You set up whatever you want here, and then you run through the records inside here. Now, all of this you can do with just a standard query. If you want to just get a list of customers from Florida, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Why bother learning record sets? Well, because inside this loop now, you can do other stuff. For example, you can send each one of these people an email, right? You can export each one of their invoices. Let's say you got your SQL statement is set up to show all of the invoices that are 30 days late, and you want to send them out to people, right? You can export a PDF, which I have another video that shows you how to do that, and you can send an email to these people. Let's send all of my Floridians an email, which you can't do any other way but by using a record set, right? A standard query won't do this. This is why this stuff is so powerful. So right in here, we can say send email. All right, what do you want the message body to be? You know, just to say hi, right? The recipient email is going to be the email address field from the customer table. So it's RS email. The subject, email to Floridians. And then send immediately is, do you want access to send it immediately just without any prompt? Or if you say false, it'll pop up the Outlook window so you can maybe add something to it or change it or whatever you want to do. I'm going to say true. That just sends it right out. And don't worry about an attachment. This is where you could attach the PDF, right? All right, so there's the send email. So what's going to happen is it's going to open up the record set. It's going to loop through all the records from Florida, display their value, send them an email. And you're probably wondering to yourself, well, what's the send email command? Where does that come from? Well, I covered that in my other video where I show you how to send email using Outlook. Here it is. Here's the other video. It's free. It's on my website, on my YouTube channel. Go watch this. Talks about all kinds of stuff, including bypassing that warning message that sometimes pops up. So go watch this if you want to learn how to send email from Access using Outlook. Right? But I already copied the send email code. I put it in my global module. It's right here. Here it is. There you go. Let me see if I can get it all on the screen. There it is. All right. Pause the screen now if you want. If you're a gold member, it's also in the code vault. I'll put a link to that down below. There it is. There's the code vault. Just come down here and hit copy. Right? But now the point is that this record set loop can send an email to each person in this record set. All right, so when you click the button, boom, 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 boom. Takes a second for each, but there they go. It just sent out 4 emails. And this is one of the reasons why I make sure that all the email addresses in the sample databases that I build in my classes now are from my domain names, because I used to just do random email addresses at Gmail, and I used to get some angry responses like, stop doing that. And if I open up my Outlook, there they are. They just went out. And I ran through a test earlier this afternoon, the same ones. Now, this is just a real simple record set. This is just a tip of the iceberg. You can do tons and tons of stuff with record sets. You can do loops. You can do record sets inside of record sets. You can loop through all these customers and then loop through a record set of all their orders for each customer and then go through all the line item details for each one of those. You can add up stuff. You can move forward and backward through the record sets. The sky is the limit, as I said. If you really want to learn record sets, they're extremely powerful. I start covering them in Access Developer 16. And one of the things that record sets are really good for is for using multi-select list boxes, because the only way to populate these and to save the data from them, if you want to select multiple items in a list box, is to use a record set. It's the best way to do it. And like I said, I start covering record sets in Developer 16. It goes through several classes. There's lots and lots that you can do with this. It's very, very powerful, professional level Access development tool, and it'll take your databases to the next level, whole nother level. I'll put a link to this class down below. Check it out. And that, my friends, is going to be your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my Tech Help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the Tech Help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut Tech Help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my Tech Help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any Tech Help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for Tech Help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.